How to best plan for education. Education is the first step of the value chain of wealth. Education could have a big impact on your career development. Education planning should be started as early as possible. During each phase of education, from preschool, kindergarten, primary school, to secondary school, college and university, the focus of planning is quite different. We can explain the best ways for education planning, either for yourself or your children. The first phase of education is preschool and kindergarten. The primary learning objectives include the following. Basic reading skills. You can read interesting books with your children, which helps them expand vocabulary and develop listening skills. Basic writing skills. Your children should learn how to draw, paint, cut, and glue, as well as practicing writing letters and names. Basic math skills, including numbers and counts, shapes and patterns. Basic science skills, focusing on exploring, observing, questioning and experimenting. Basic social-emotional skills. Your children should work in groups. Practice sharing and taking turns, develop good manners and communication skills. Let your children learn some music and drawing, playing memory card games, and telling stories. Develop your children's independence. For planning purpose, there are some key points. Parents should take charge in preschool and kindergarten planning. Preschool and kindergarten are important to develop learning interests and skills, as well as essential emotional and social skills. Learning while playing is the key to effective learning. It doesn't really matter to choose public school or private school, but the environment should be safe, stimulating and supportive. Learning at home is also important. You can find some additional learning resources on the internet. The second phase of education is primary school. For planning purpose, there are some key points. Parents should take charge in primary school planning. Primary school is when children start trying different subjects, such as STEM, arts, sports, etc. There could be a rough target for which top universities in the country or the world to attend in the future. In order to do that, some planning for the best secondary education should be considered as well. There are some criteria to consider for choosing primary education. The ranking of a school, reputation, academic atmosphere, a rich curriculum, location in space, after-school programs, etc. Each country should have its own ranking system, for which the parents need to do some good research. For private schools, another criteria would be if there is enough funding. It doesn't really matter if you choose a public school or private school, but it should be the best school reachable by you. The third phase of education is secondary school. Planning for secondary school is probably the most important step for the whole education planning. For preschool, kindergarten, and primary school education, the schools only teach fundamental and foundational knowledge. Your child can catch up later even if the primary school is not ideal. However, secondary school ranking and performance are the key to applying for a good college or university. It would be difficult to catch up if your child attends a mediocre secondary school. Parents and students should both take charge in secondary school planning. There are some tasks best to be done during secondary school studies. Find the best capabilities and the most interesting areas. Develop a specialty area, such as math, piano, hockey, etc. Attend some international contests and obtain the top rankings. For art specialty, get the highest level in the exams, like RCM level 10. Develop good skills in one specific art area and in one specific sports area. Obtain good academic records. Build good communication and social skills. Develop good presentation and leadership skills. Attend various clubs and performances. Have some community service experiences as volunteers. Have some part-time working experiences. Build good relationships with the teachers for letters of recommendation. It doesn't really matter to choose a public school or private school, but it should be the best school reachable by you. The fourth phase of education is college and university. Parents and students should both take charge in college and university planning. Universities are not always better than colleges, but the top universities in the world are always better. Planning for the best higher education is of vital importance to finding a good job with good salaries, having good career development opportunities, and setting up a good starting point for happy retirement. To best plan for college or university, you can follow these steps. Start researching schools and programs to find the best fit for your interests and career goals. Consider financial factors, including scholarships, grants, student loans, and other sources of funding. Create a list of important deadlines, such as application dates, standardized test dates, and financial aid deadlines. Meet with a guidance counselor or academic advisor to discuss your options and create a plan. Consider taking standardized tests and start preparing early. Get involved in extracurricular activities and community service to build your resume and demonstrate your commitment to your goals. Start preparing for your future by taking challenging courses, developing strong study habits, and seeking out opportunities for growth and personal development. There are two most important things to do for college and university planning. 1. How to choose a major. Most of the time, a good major is better than a good university. So choosing the right major is a major consideration. There are a list of things that you may consider for choosing a major. Based on abilities. Every student has a specific set of capabilities and strengths, such as math, science, language, social studies, arts, sports, etc. Based on interests. The same logic is based on abilities. Abilities should align with interests. Based on salaries and career potential. This is a more realistic choice. But without good abilities and interests, this is usually not a valid choice. You may search for majors with higher earning potential. Usually, hot majors, including business, law, medical, engineering, and IT always have higher earning potential. But things could change in the future. Artificial intelligence will change many jobs in the future. 2. How to choose a university. Based on ranking. When you have decided what major to choose, you can choose the best universities for that major. You can find the rankings for the world's best universities on the internet. You can review all majors for those universities. Based on Ivy League schools. Choosing a good major in an Ivy League school is also a good choice. Based on accessibility. In order to apply for top universities, you should prepare for the application materials, including academic transcripts, school report, letter of recommendation, statement of purpose, standardized tests, like TOEFL, SAT, ACT, etc., admission tests, and interviews, etc. Here are some examples and tips for meeting the top university's admission requirements. Harvard University. The acceptance rate at Harvard is just 6%. The key to getting past the initial round of application review for undergraduate courses is to meet the GPA and SAT, ACT requirements. You also have to impress Harvard application readers with your extracurriculars, essays, and teachers' evaluations. The average GPA at Harvard is 4.1. Aim to be in the top 10% of your class. The average SAT score at Harvard is 1540 on the 1600 scale. Coming to ACT, the average score at Harvard is 34. Join a club or join activities you have a passion for. But don't try to involve yourself in too many activities. Instead, select a couple of activities and excel in them. This is what Harvard likes. Try to cultivate your talent for leadership. Join the student council and contribute, so that you will be recognized as a leader. Harvard appreciates a commitment to society. So, volunteer for community work or social service. Try to spare time for activities connected to an old age home, or homeless shelter, or for cleaning a neighborhood park or locality. Writing an essay is a chance for you to show your writing skills, and to come across as an interesting, confident, and committed person. Try to address these questions in your essay. What makes you unique? Can you tell a story that shows your creativity, work ethic, and your ability to correct yourself after learning from mistakes? Harvard needs you to provide 2 teacher evaluations. Choose a teacher who has seen you excel in academics. For supplementary materials, if you have some truly exceptional material that will support your application and show that you are unique in some way, send it along. Stanford University. When you are applying to Stanford, you are trying to join a club that includes people who have already interned at NASA, published books that went on to the New York Times bestsellers list, and played music at Carnegie Hall. But if you have it in you, you will probably relish the challenge. The acceptance rate at Stanford is just 5%. You will need strong academics, no escape. You should excel in one area in your extracurriculars, and have an abiding interest in one area or activity. You need more than grades, and you should have one focus area. The estimated average high school required GPA is around 4.18. The estimated average SAT composite for admitted freshmen was 1510 out of 1600. Your chances are good if your score is above 1590 on the 1600 scale. You need to take the right classes. For example, if you want to be a doctor, you need to take chemistry, physics, and math classes, including geometry and algebra. If you want to take up art, choose physics, geometry, and computer design, besides art. Join debate clubs and stick with your interest. Prolonged interest in one activity is better than some interest in a lot of things. Keep in mind that quality is better than quantity. Do you like web design? Are you an artist? Get your portfolio up online and provide a link. Have you created an app? It shows that you are not only technology prone but also entrepreneurial. Try to link one of your passions with what the school is already good at. Look to participate in social service. Volunteer for nature club, animal shelter, or a local hospital. Show that you care for the community. 3 principles guide the admission process at Stanford: academic excellence, intellectual vitality, and personal context. The most important is academic excellence, that is, whether you have the potential and preparation for Stanford. Your high school transcript gives evidence of this. Yale University. The acceptance rate at Yale is just about 6%. A candidate needs to have not just talent, but unique talent. Most of the requirements mirror those of other Ivy League schools. These candidates should also have the zest to stretch the limits of their talent, and outstanding public motivation. Applicants should have something larger than themselves and their personal motivations as their primary objective. The average GPA for Yale admissions is 4.19. The average SAT score on the 1600 Saturday scale was 1540, which are extremely competitive scores. The average ACT score was 33. A high SAT or ACT score may just about compensate for a slight drop in your GPA. You should also try to do something unique. If your high school offers Asian languages, for example, Japanese or Mandarin, take them in addition to German or French. Join an athletics club. Although Yale does not provide scholarships for athletics, joining a club shows that you have other interests besides academics. Begin a new group in your school that will help the community. This will show that you care for your community and that you have leadership skills. Build a strong record of employment. Getting a job and keeping it shows you can handle different responsibilities without impacting your grades. Ask 2 teachers to give you personalized letters, preferably teachers from your 11th and 12th grade who have taught you recently. They should know you and be able to talk about you. They don't have to be teachers in whose classes you scored the highest, but teachers who can substantiate your character and intellect. Princeton University. Princeton University looks for students with intellectual curiosity, who have achieved academic excellence and have strong personal and extracurricular accomplishments. It would like applicants to have taken courses in English, mathematics, foreign language, laboratory science, and history. Applicants who have tested themselves at the advanced placements and dual enrollment courses have a good chance. The university evaluates international baccalaureate, A-levels, and other diplomas within the context of the curriculum. The acceptance rate has been less than 10%. The average GPA at Princeton is 3.9, a highly competitive score for GPAs. The average SAT composite score at Princeton is 1520. Applicants need to write 2 essays as part of their application. Princeton gives a lot of importance to intellectual integrity, and applicants are expected to certify that the elements of their applications are their own work. A resume or curriculum vitae is required and should include education, employment, activities, community service, and academic and professional honors. 3 letters of recommendation submitted through the university's electronic recommendation system are needed, and they should come from faculty or other individuals familiar with the applicant's academic work. University of Pennsylvania. UPenn admits bright students from a range of backgrounds and life experiences. They need to show intellectual curiosity, an interdisciplinary mindset, and a desire to contribute to the world. UPenn looks for scholars who can energize their society and turn their ideas and interests into reality with their talents and experiences. As UPenn itself states, performance in high school is the single most important factor in student selection. The most competitive applicants pursued a rigorous academic curriculum and achieved top grades in school. The acceptance rate is about 8%. In tests, the middle 50% of admitted students scored 1460 to 1550 in SAT and 33 to 35 in ACT. Beyond academic record, your non-scholarly interests, community service, extracurriculars, other passions, hobbies, leadership skills, and potential impact on the campus are evaluated. Cambridge University. Cambridge looks for applicants with the most academic ability and potential, can flourish in the Cambridge environment, and are best suited to the course they want to do. The ideal candidate has self-discipline and motivation, and is open to new ideas beyond what he or she has already learned. Each candidate is considered individually and holistically on the basis of academic record, school reference, personal statement, any written work submitted, contextual data, and performance in written assessment and at interviews. You need to choose the subject you love, not just one that you think has high prospects or is the most prestigious. If you are less than passionate about your selected subject, the admission officials are going to see through you. The foremost thing is good grades for getting into a Cambridge UG course. Your grades in your chosen subject should be excellent. If you have been a sports captain, the admissions officials will know that you have leadership skills. If you have been involved with charitable work, they will gather that you are sensitive to the needs of your community. And if you have taken part in cultural activities, they will realize that you will be able to appreciate Cambridge traditions. An excellent personal statement holds great value. The introduction should tell the officials why a subject is your favorite. Talk about your academic and non-academic achievements, hobbies, and extracurricular activities. Conclude with what you plan to do after university. Oxford University. Oxford demands near-perfect grades. The general requirements are between A+ and A at a level, or equivalent, depending on the subject. You need to develop a work ethic to achieve excellent grades right from early days at school. Build a positive attitude to working hard. Extracurriculars are important, but you should not indulge in them to such an extent that they take your attention away from your academic studies. Oxford makes it clear that extracurriculars are taken into account only if they help to show how you are qualified to join Oxford. You don't have to be incredibly well-rounded to be accepted at Oxford. Those are just some examples about what top universities are looking at. To make it simple, they are primarily looking for students with top grades in some specialties. They focus on accepting the students that match their cultures and fit their communities. It is very hard to say that you can be admitted to a specific university. So you have to be prepared for several top universities. If you take efforts and focus on the right areas, even if you are not admitted to a top university, you can also pick the top majors in a good university. Always remember that college and university are just the very beginning of your professional journey. You could have many great opportunities in the future to change your life. Blue Eden Project can help you find all the best solutions and great ideas for a balanced life. Join Blue Eden Project, achieve a better life, and build a better world. Thank you for watching.